Aha, hello. So, this video is just going to be a quick overview on how to install um, the sidearm system that I've got on Gumroad. The link to this video will be on that page, and I'll also have a link to that page in this video's description on YouTube. So let's just jump into it. So here we've got a Nartaragon. This guy this project has very little in it. It is set up with Unity 2022. So for context, that's just the version that we'll be using today. And it's a pretty easy setup. You just got to go up here. You grab assets, import package, custom package. It's going to be very similar to how we did things with the lantern. There's just a couple differences. So revolver sidearm, get that in there. So this is all assuming that you've already set up your avatar is already otherwise set up with everything else. So it should just be this folder here, weapons, and then all this content in here. Get that imported. So once that's in, we're going to go into this folder here that appears in your assets folder called weapons. Go in, get into firearms, and then here we've got an audio folder, a Remington folder, and then the sidearm prefab. So in the audio, this is literally just the audio that's used for the firing mechanisms of the Remington. This is all the base or raw assets for the Remington model, if you want to use it for anything else as well. And then here's the prefab. Sidearm prefab folder. And then here's the actual prefab with the system and everything else like that already set up for us. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this up here. So to start, you can kind of already see that it's positioned for us for the most part. All I'm going to do is quickly scale the sidearm empty avatar thing here down so that it kind of matches our Nartaragon here. So I'm just going to grab it, scale it down, and we don't have to go too far. We're literally just having the holsters rest at our hips and the guns come down into our hands, and that's it. That's all we need to do. Once we've done that, we can start dropping down the hierarchy here to find some more of the items. So this is as far as we will need to go for the sake of the tutorial. All right. So the way that I have this system set up is it works with the same folder file or folder structuring system as the Death Stranding kit that I put out, as well as the lantern. So what we'll do is we're going to just start by positioning our items here, and then we will merge this into our avatar. So to begin, I'm just going to very quickly get to our left holster. So that's holster target left, and I'm just going to pull it a little bit further out here. And there we go. So just kind of want it resting on the hip, not inside of it too much. You can also move it in, rotate it, however you feel most comfortable wearing this on your avatar. It is totally up to you. Do the same thing to the other side. Get that on that, and just kind of position it comfortably. You can also attach it to other things. It does not have to specifically be on your upper legs. You can also attach it to your hip or spine bone and kind of have it like up under your arm as if it's hidden under a trench coat or something like that, if you're wanting to try and get that finagled on your avatar. Up to you. But for now, we'll just stick with the hips. Once we've done that, we're going to take a look at the position of the actual guns here. Looks like they're a little bit too far back in the palm, so all we got to do is grab the sidearm hand target right, and then we're just going to grab that and pull it a little bit further out here, just so that the curve of the thumb kind of matches the top of the curve of the handle here, and the butt of your gun gets right to the edge of your hand. So that's about all it needs. And then we'll go ahead and grab the sidearm hand target left. And we're going to do the same thing. Just going to drag it out. There we go. So, yeah, that looks good. So, really easy setup. If the guns look too big or too small, that's easy as well. You just grab the this left and right. You just grab that, and then over here on your scale, make sure that your link button is enabled for the scale, and then you can scale it up or down and kind of have the weapons fit the scaling of your avatar a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and just put this to 0.97 just to demonstrate how it would look when you do that. And that's it. So now that you've done that, it's time to merge the system onto the avatar itself. We're going to start by moving the hierarchy into the avatar and clean up our hierarchy over here. So I'm going to right-click on the sidearm empty avatar, and we're going to go down to Prefab, and we want to unpack completely. Click that. Now we're just going to grab accessories, and we're going to drop that into our Nardragon, right into our avatar, right? So this right here, this sidearm empty avatar, it should now be empty in the hierarchy. It's got a bunch of stuff in the inspector. We don't need to worry about that. But on the hierarchy, it should be empty. We can go ahead and delete that now. No longer need that. Once we have that installed there, the next step is to get our links set up so that things are properly parented. Instead of having you actually reparent targets, I now do it in a way where we have some parent constraints already set up and emptied here for you, so that you don't have to move targets around and try and keep track of them if you need to like reinstall or update the systems. And I'll be doing that with my systems moving forward. So we're just going to start by putting on the guns to the hand, putting the holsters to the hips, and then we'll do the guns to the hands. So we'll start by dropping down the armature and the hips of the Nardragon, and we're going to grab holster tar left, and we're going to put the left leg bone into the target on the inspector on the right. And then holster target right. Same thing with the right leg. Put that in there. So left leg, right leg. Now we can drop down the spine, chest, and then let's see here, right shoulder and left shoulder. And then we just want to find the left and right wrist of our avatar. Wrist or hand, whatever it is for your avatar. Once we've done that, we can get the sidearm hand target left down here. And we're going to put the left wrist into the constraint source in the parent constraint on the right. So we'll just grab, with the sidearm hand tar left selected, we'll grab the left wrist and put it in here on the right in the parent constraint reference. Same thing for the sidearm hand target right. Select that, and then grab the right wrist and put it into the reference in the inspector for the sidearm hand tar right. Once you've done that, select all four of those tar items. So holster tar left, sidearm hand tar right, holster tar right, and sidearm hand tar left. So these four down here, basically. You're going to drop down constraint settings and hit lock. That ensures that if you scale your avatar or anything shifts or slides around, you won't lose track of those items if you use avatar scaling or anything like that. That's all it does, just locks them in place properly. So we are almost done. The last thing to do is using the avatar manager to merge our FX and parameters, and then add the menu. So for now, we can collapse the avatar and just leave it here. We're going to get our, oops, sorry, not that window. We're going to go up to, it should be under VR Labs. Make sure you have the Avatar 3.0 Manager installed in your Creative Companion, and that's what we're going to use to merge today. So we'll grab that window under VR Labs, and then we're going to put that up here. we're going to grab our avatar and put it into the avatar reference at the top. And then we're going to drop down FX. Scroll down and then click on Add Animator to merge. Down here in the sidearm prefab folders at the bottom of the screen, we're going to go into Animations. And we're going to get this FX underscore file, which should say FX underscore sidearms. We're going to shove that into the animator reference here that it just gave us. It's probably going to tell you that some of our gesture right and gesture weight right and gesture left and gesture left weight are already there. They're defaults in the background, in the back end. That is fine. That is totally fine. It'll take care of it for us. We don't need to touch anything. Scroll down and then click Merge on Current. Once you've done that, make sure to go up here to the Parameters tab in the top left. It's a very small button, so I'll kind of wiggle my mouse on it right there. 3 little bars. Click on that. And then we're going to go all the way down to where it says Copy Parameters, Parameters to Copy. We're going to get the parameter sidearms from down here, and we're going to put that into the Parameters to Copy reference. Stick that in there. Copy parameters. And there we go. Lastly, we're going to double check our parameter types. And this is something that actually changed in Vrchat, which didn't cause issues before, but now it does. So now we have to fix it ourselves. So go back to your scene view and click on your Nardragon, or your avatar, I'm sorry, in your in hierarchy. And then go down on the right, and you want to get your parameters reference, the parameters file for your avatar. So click on that. And now we're going to kind of see what's going on. So scroll all the way up and you'll see saved and synced. You just want to double check these. Make sure that all of the sidearm parameters we've just added are all synced. We definitely want that. And then saved only sidearm toggle and sidearm toggle right. Those are the only ones that need to be saved. And then the default value for sidearm ammo left and right should be 7. And there we go. So now that you've done that, we've double checked that, made sure that everything over here looks correct. We can also double click our FX layer for our avatar and just go down just to generally make sure that it looks like there's a bunch of sidearm animations in here. Looks like that did what we want. There are quite a few, but there's a lot of animations in this system, so there should be quite a few. Once you've finished that, we can go ahead and test the avatar by going to the Gesture Manager, which is built in under the Tools section for Gesture Manager Emulator. That's also another function that you'll install using the Creative Companion. So we're going to go ahead very quickly and enter play mode after a quick save. Oh no, I'm sorry. Before we do that, a menu. We actually have to include the menu. Sorry about that. So go back to your Nardragon, or sorry, your avatar hierarchy, and then go to your menu. So in the menu, we just want to add a control. And under this new control, we're going to set the type to sub menu, and we're going to call this, I'll just call it sidearm, but you can call it whatever you want. Once you've created that, on the left, under Weapons, Firearms, and Sidearm Prefab, you're going to go into the Animations folder, and we're going to grab the menu underscore sidearms and just plop that into the sub-menu reference for our new sidearm button. Now we can test it. I apologize for that quick little hiccup. So let's go ahead and test it. Now, I'm going to mute it real quick because the weapons can be a little bit loud. We only need to see it for now. Actually, I'm going to unmute it until I actually fire it. That's going to be what. That's going to be what does it. Yeah. that way far away. I wish. All right, so with our gesture manager selected, once we enter into play mode, we're going to go into expressions, sidearm, toggle sidearms, and we're going to click each one. You'll hear a little clicking noise, as that is the equip sound for them coming onto your avatar. Once you've done that, you can go back, and these two left and right buttons, equip it to your hands. Once they're in there, everything else is gesture controlled. So you can do victory, that'll reload. You can also do rock and roll. That'll pull the hammer back here. And then, let's see here. We'll just mute the audio real quick. Hopefully that works. And then left hand. Okay, yeah. It's a little bit loud on preview. So as you can see, when you pull the trigger all the way down, it fires. There's a little bit of animation here for when you're fully pulling the trigger, just for a little bit of added immersion. And like I said, rock and roll pulls the hammer back in the prepared position, just a bit for theatrics. And then once again, victory ejects the magazine or the cylinder, because the Remington 1854 allowed you to eject the cylinder and put in a new one rather than manually load each and every little cylinder, because this was a cap and ball black powder revolver. Anyway, that's that. There's a few sound effects in there that I wasn't able to feature because I didn't want to deafen us all by firing off the mechanism. But anyway, hope you guys were able to get everything done and installed successfully. And thank you so much for taking a look at this pack. And you guys have a good one.